Welcome to the Wingman Men's Moment podcast with Randy Ferreira, my buddy, and I'm Pastor Jay Dennis. We are co-founders of Wingman Nation and City Central Church in Lakeland, Florida. We're Christian men. We're husbands, we're fathers, we're grandfathers, and we have a passion to help men become better husbands, better dads, and more godly and Christ-like men. Good morning, Randy. How are you doing?
Really good. Thank you, Pastor Jay. Good to see you.
It is good to see you as well. Today, we're looking at a subject that I think all of us need, and it's the issue of how to give and receive both criticism and compliments. So take it away, my friend.
And it really is, because so many people have a hard time accepting helpful comments. Although you call them criticisms, there's lots of good things about it. So we need to learn how to receive them, and they need to be delivered properly. So we're going to talk and use today Proverbs 27:6. I'll start with that. It says, "Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy." Proverbs 15:1. "A gentle answer deflects anger, but harsh words makes temper flare." And Proverbs 29:11, "Fools vent their anger, but the wise quietly hold it back." You know, and criticism is something that a lot of times, if you're married for a while, you tend to start criticizing your spouse's judgment. But we shouldn't criticize our wife's judgment. Look who she married.
Uh-oh.
Howie dowie. Take that and smoke that in your peace pipe.
Yeah, there you go.
So, little story. A little boy greeted his grandma with a hug and said, "I'm so happy to see you, Grandma. Now maybe Daddy will do the trick he has been promising us." "What trick is that?" she said. "Well," said the little boy excitedly, "I heard Daddy tell Mommy that he would climb the walls if you came to visit us again." A small boy then turned to his Aunt Edna and said, "Wow, you're ugly." His mother overheard the remark, and she was appalled. She took him to one side and gave him a real telling off before ordering him to go back and say sorry to Aunt Edna. Suitably chastened, the boy went over and said quietly, "Aunt Edna, I'm sorry you're ugly."
Oh, criticism hurts.
Ouch.
Oh. Well, the word criticism means to act as a judge, to evaluate, and then make a comment, sometimes without compassion. A critic draws conclusions, even if they're not correct, and expresses those conclusions. I love this. In his book, The Youth Builder, Jim Burns talks about the importance of building up young people with affirmation and trust. What he says about criticism, however, applies to every age group. For every critical comment we receive, it takes 9 affirming comments to even out the negative effect or impact in your life. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
So the book of Proverbs, and we love the book of Proverbs, such a practical book. It deals both with criticism and compliments, criticism and praise, and how we should give it and how we should respond to it. So again, a critic draws conclusions even if they are not correct and expresses those conclusions. Proverbs 27:6, as you read, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but deceitful are the kisses of an enemy." The word faithful means someone who is supportive, loving, nurturing. But look at the word wounds. It indicates inner bruises, not externally usually from words spoken, but internally. Words can hurt worse than stones. And then he mentions the word friend. And that means someone that's like family. It indicates a loving approach. So what he's saying is, it is better to be wounded by a true friend who tells you the truth, who wants to help you with perhaps a blind spot, than someone who doesn't love you, who kisses you, flatters you, but inwardly wants nothing good for you. Someone said flattery is saying something behind your back that he wouldn't say to your face.
And then after that, they stab you in the back.
There you go. Yes.
It's funny, you said Proverbs, just a little sidebar. For those of you who haven't read Proverbs, read Proverbs a small little bit every day. Proverbs is loaded with information how we should live our lives.
Right.
It is so good. If you're going to read nothing else in the Bible, read Proverbs.
I agree.
It's
Amen.
wonderful. So Proverbs 15:1 says, and we talked about this, we read it earlier, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So gentle in that that sentence means tender or delicate. An answer means a response. So the word harsh also means words that are pain-inflicting, sorrow-inflicting. So a kind response brings healing and encouragement, but pain-inflicting causes an obvious anger reaction. So we have to be careful with that.
We do.
Proverbs 29:11 says, a fool always loses his temper, but a wise person holds back. And usually when we lose our temper, most of the time something good doesn't happen.
No, and something good doesn't come out of our mouths.
It doesn't come out,
yeah.
right. And there's actually Proverbs about that, too.
Many, yes.
So a fool means someone who is arrogant and stupid, and we know all those people, and if you don't know any of those people, you're probably that person.
Should we name names today? Because I'll get these images in my mind.
A wise person is skillful and is spiritually and ethically in tune with God and his will. So with these scriptures as a backdrop, let's identify how to receive and give criticism and compliments as we talked about in the middle. So
yeah, exactly. So how to receive criticism. You need to remember that everyone has an opinion. They're entitled to it. Yes. However, sometimes a person's opinion becomes critical when others' opinions don't agree with theirs. In our day of social media, it has empowered, let's be honest, even cowards to criticize while hiding in their homes or offices, saying things that they would not say to your face.
Right.
How can you lovingly and graciously respond to someone's criticism, either negative or positive? Jot these down. Number one, ask the Lord to give you a teachable spirit. Proverbs 29:1 again, a man who hardens his neck after much reproof will suddenly be broken without remedy. I like the way the New Living Translation says that whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be destroyed beyond recovery. So drop your defenses. Be open to correction, be teachable. There are still lessons to be learned, and God uses people, both positive and critical, to teach us. I've actually learned more from my critics, unfortunately, because God can use multiple people, multiple personalities to help us grow. And I have found when someone criticizes me, I often learn my blind spots or my weak spots. Dawson Trotman, founder of The Navigators, a great man, had a good method for handling all criticisms directed at himself. No matter how unfair the criticism might seem to be, he would always take it into his prayer closet and, in effect, spread it before the Lord. And then he would say, Lord, please show me the kernel of truth hidden in this criticism.
Yeah.
And I know you found that to be true, too.
Yes.
That although that criticism may hurt at the moment, when you begin to evaluate it, there may be a kernel of truth in there that will help us to become more like Jesus.
100%. And also, we got to consider the source of the criticism. So not take it so personally. But, and you don't like it sometimes, obviously.
Right.
But if you take it, as you said, and break it down and just, okay, thank you for your thoughts.
Yeah.
And then take it with you.
Right.
And break it down, unpack it. There may be some good nuggets in there that even though it was delivered improperly, you can use and get closer to God because there may be some truth to it.
Now, it's a pride factor in my life. I will not go back and tell them that God used them.
Yes, we need to pray for you about that.
I know, brother. Please do.
So listen from Proverbs of the benefits of criticism. 1, discover the way to real life. So Proverbs 6:23 says, for their command is a lamp and their instruction is a light and their corrective discipline is the way of life. So that's what we're talking about. You may not like it, but you can really extract some good things from it. Number 2, you become wiser. Proverbs 9:9. Instruct the wise and they will be even wiser. Teach the righteous and they will learn even more. So listen, try to learn from it. You may take it all in and go, I didn't learn anything from this.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
But if you don't keep an open mind and like you said, Jay, pray about it and ask God to show you some things, you may be missing something because your anger and your pride is blocking what God wants to show you.
No doubt.
So Proverbs 19:20, get all the advice and instruction you can, so you will be wise the rest of your life. That is an incredible verse right there.
It is.
Right? Take it all in. You may not like it. It may be like daggers hitting you, but take it in because it will build character potentially.
It will.
Number 3, you will be honored. Proverbs 13:18. If you ignore criticism, you will end up in poverty and disgrace, it says. And if you accept correction, you will be honored.
Right.
Because maybe if that person is a real donkey, God may still be using that donkey. He used donkeys a lot in the Old and New Testament. So we don't know what the description of the donkey might be, but he may be using that donkey, right? So you will be honored. Number 4, those who refuse to listen are labeled as stupid and foolish. So that's directed to us. If we're getting criticism, listen. Yes. You don't have to like it, but you listen, and don't be labeled stupid and foolish by getting mad and angry and let your ego lash back.
Amen.
Proverbs 12:1. To learn, you must love discipline. It is stupid to hate correction. Again, God may be using that donkey.
That's right.
Proverbs 10:8. The wise are glad to be instructed, but babbling fools fall flat on their faces.
Yeah.
And it is difficult to take criticism.
Boy,
I'm telling you, we all know that. But there is and can be hidden gems in there that God is trying to teach you. So try to keep that in your heart. Keep an open mind. Grin and bear it.
Yes.
And then unpack it later.
Yeah. Embrace the benefits that you talked about. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast today. This has been fun, Randy, just to do this together and to learn together. And let me tell you, you model what we talked about today, and I appreciate that about you.
Is that a compliment? Well,
that
thank you
a compliment,
very much.
buddy. And
I really love those glasses on you, too.
I truly, truly mean it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening, you all, and invite somebody else to listen as well. But until next time.
You can find us on your any major podcast site, Wingman Men's Moments. And until next time, Wingman out!